Now, the Valley's first responder on WZDX News.
911 is what we dial for help. Now, those same numbers have had more meaning to us for the last 20 years, and even more so for our first responders. Just 3 weeks after the September 11th attacks, a Madison Police Investigator was deployed to New York City. Kanisha Dees says his name is Sergeant Marcus Adams, and he's our Valley's first responder of the month.
A normal work shift.
Good morning, LT.
For Madison Police Investigator.
Yeah, I'm about to finish this over here.
Sergeant Marcus Adams. His purpose as a police officer, bigger.
Being a small town department, going to New York City.
Than he imagined.
We got there, took us 18 hours. We rolled into New Jersey, and you could see across the river Ground Zero. It was early in the morning, still dark, and it was lit up like a football stadium.
He and 7 officers were deployed from the city of Madison closer to Madison Avenue.
I'm thinking, you know, their whole attitude is what can you do for me? And our attitude is what can we do for you?
They detailed the Empire State Building, and while there,
to walk the long way around to Ground Zero, to the towers themselves. And while we were walking, you could see written in the dust messages where people had written down their emotions. Some of them were pretty graphic toward bin Laden. Some of them were just sad. It was a lot.
It was a lot they've seen.
And while we were there, they found a fireman in full gear, still buried, because you've got FBI agents going through rubble.
It was a lot they felt.
You could still feel the heat coming from the towers.
It was a lot they could smell.
They were still spraying water on it. You could smell the burnt wires from the buildings. And the news, that little TV set didn't even do it justice.
Some of the 8 officers have retired, joined another department.
2 are now deceased.
Adams' deployment was his first trip to New York City, but years later,
2 of the guys, we actually went back to New York last October, and it was exactly 19 years to the week we were there the first time.
And over the years, those memories ingrained would turn to something tangible.
I collected some New York Challenge coins along the way.
A token, or several, for Adams to never forget.
And the 10-year patch. Now this, a New York police officer gave to me while I was in New York City. And for years, I wore it on the lapel of my jacket while working investigations.
And although the coins may rust...
Oh, there it is. Yeah, see, we had this made, and it hung in our lobby.
And pictures.
Yeah, you can see this thing starting to fade from hanging in the lobby in the sunshine.
Memories won't.
I got to get that put back up.
At the Madison Police Department. Kanisha Dees, Fox 54.
Really amazing, and we thank you, Marcus, for going above and beyond what any first responder could ever imagine. Now, do you know someone who could be the next Valley's first responder? Well, you should nominate them. To do that, go to rocketcitynow.com and find the Valley's First Responder tab at the top of the page.